And Hemingway, when he describes the encounter, he describes F. Scott Fitzgerald as having a delicate mouth and a face somewhere between handsome and pretty. And I think you can hear there's a bit of a dig in there. See if there is any bacon, and if there is, ask the cook which pan to fry it in. Then ask if there are any eggs, and if so, try and persuade the cook to poach 2 of them. It is better not to attempt toast, as it burns very easily. Also, in the case of bacon, do not turn the fire too high, or you'll have to get out of the house for a week. Serve preferably on china plates, though gold or wood will do if handy. Lycée Henri IV, the ancient church of Saint-Étienne-du-Mont, across the windswept Place du Panthéon and cut in for shelter. So we can follow in Hemingway's footsteps as he's making his way towards a bar, surprise, surprise, in the Boulevard Saint-Michel. And I'll put that quotation into a context when we arrive outside the Hemingway writing studio on a winter's morning. He'd been working there the previous day, and as was normal when he wrote, he lived on a diet of tangerines and cherry brandy, as you do. And he's left a tangerine on the desk and the bottle of cherry brandy overnight. When he arrives the next morning, tangerine frozen solid, crust of ice on the brandy. So Hemingway goes through a bizarre ritual. Before he invests his precious money in firewood, he comes all the way down to the street level, goes and stands against the wall opposite, and looks back up at his own roof to check the chimney. He wants to know that there's smoke coming out the chimney, that the neighbours have lit a fire. If they've lit a fire, they've warmed the flue, which means the chimney would draw properly. And if the chimney's cold, basically no air circulation, Hemingway would just generate smoke in his office and just blind himself. So Hemingway sees no smoke coming from the chimney. What does he do? He walks down past the Lycée Henri IV, the ancient church of Saint-Étienne-du-Mont, across the windswept Place du Panthéon, and cuts in for shelter. So that's where we pick up on that quotation.
The Paris government hired young, beautiful couples to stand on the bridges in Paris and kiss, so that when the tourists would come, it would fulfill everything that they imagined that Paris would be.
Bonjour from Paris, it's Miss Sheehan again. It's day 3, and I wanted to tell you about what I learned today. We were on a tour of F. Scott Fitzgerald and Ernest Hemingway, the guy that wrote Hills Like White Elephants and Baby Shoes for Sale Never Used. You should remember that. And the tour guide, the best part about him was that he didn't tell us facts. He told us stories about Hemingway and about Fitzgerald, and it reminded me that we're all writing a story. We're all characters in this story, and what are people going to say about us someday? What story are you writing? And who's going to hear what messages? So I want you to think about that, and as you do, I want to show you my view right now because you'll be super jealous. So right now, off in the distance from my hotel balcony is the Eiffel Tower. The guy that built this, his name was Gustave Eiffel, and he said that he should be jealous of it because it gets more attention than he ever does. Too bad nobody knew his story, but maybe someday they'll know yours. Au revoir, until tomorrow. Miss you.